What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, what's today? The 29th? Oh, so the PlayStation fire sale started yesterday. That's what King called it, fire sale. Games on sale, consoles on sale. Not in every region, but in some regions, most regions, I would think. I don't look at. I forgot what regions aren't included. I think Australia and the UK. I think don't get no sale. So that's another thing, right? If I were a UK citizen and this stuff was going down, all the rhetoric about PlayStation dropped the prices, it's like not for me. If they drop the price across the board, everybody gets a price drop. That's a totally different story. But why didn't they drop the prices in Australia and the UK? What do they have? Are they trying to get back at Jim Ryan? They're like, listen, that fool cost us the billions of dollars. So we're going to punish his people. Even the ancestors of the criminals of your people will be punished. Australia, you getting it too. That's what happened. That's actually what happened. I don't know if that's what happened. I'm just saying, in pretend land, in my mind, that's what happened. I mean, it's suspicious, ain't it? It's pretty cute. It's like, huh? Why? UK? Why? Because Jim Ryan. That's why. For all the good that he did while being the man in the UK, the Sony man in the UK, I guess his game plan didn't work worldwide. It just worked on that little island. Maybe Brexit messed everything up. I don't know, man. It's just, and I'm seeing these donkey unicorns and these ponies trying to say that, oh, delusional X-bot, blah blah. PlayStation sold 30 billion, had 30 billion revenue or something. I'm like, oh, they sold 30 million consoles. Well, they didn't sold. I think it was 18 point. Once again, sold in, sold through. Which one is it? It's the bigger number. That's what it is. Man, I tell you what, the perception game can only last so long. You could fake it for a while, but if you don't make it in a timely manner, then you gonna fake it. It's real. Everything's fake. Your numbers is fake. Your success is fake. The one thing that isn't fake is your failure. Concord was the first quotation, if you will. It was the first indication of failure by Sony, by PlayStation. Failure. I mean, look, we could say, oh, this game sucked and that game sucked, blah, blah, blah. Conquer was the biggest failure in video game history. Now we have, what is it? Fair Games, and we have Concord. Now, I think, I hope Colin Moriarty gets some more details about money as far as Concord and Concord 2. Marathon and Fair Games. I want that same treatment. I want that same Concord treatment. Somebody on the inside, sneak them a little, and then $1 zillion. That's how much it costs. That's what I want. I want the numbers on how much it costs Marathon. I want the numbers on how much it costs for Fair Games. And also, I want to know if Jade Raymond got her payout, because they retain these certain CEO positions and such. I mean, she got a payout when she sold her studio. She co-founded it, so she got that payout. But I guess she might get another payout as well. I don't know. Or the dividends mature. I don't know. But hopefully she got paid, because it seems like Sony and PlayStation, but mainly Sony, doesn't know what the hell they're doing. And everybody in the industry was like, yo, they saw them as a mark, and they were like, yo, we about to rob these fools. And Haven Studios robbed Bungie. They robbed Sony. Bungie definitely robbed Sony. They never said how much Sony paid for Haven. I will also want to know that number, because if this game is canceled, and here's another thing about fair games and Sony and PlayStation and this gas movement, this games and service movement. Why? And this is Luke Stevens said he was at I think it was the marathon, whatever, behind the look or whatever, behind the look, sneak peek, whatever they did. And he was sitting in a wherever, and all of the devs there were saying how they felt that extraction shooters was going to be the next big thing. And I'm as far as like gaming in general, I would consider myself casual. I'm not like hardcore. I'm more hardcore than some, but I'm not hardcore. Like if you throw me in a random Gears match, I probably won't do that well. I mean, I might get a little pop off here and there, but I don't have a specific strategy. I mean, I know there's the roll and the chainsaw, or the roll and the shotgun, the nasher and stuff like that. I know a few things, but I don't really practice that stuff. I have just general knowledge about video games in general, and I play a few games. That's it. But them saying that extraction shooters are going to be the next big thing. Why did they say that? Are they hardcore gamers basically and saying, I love this game. All we need to do is make it accessible for casuals? I'm like, that's not that. How? That's the question. How? Because inherently, extraction shooters are not casual games. Nothing about it. Like I remember playing the Division, the Dark Zone, the Red Zone, whatever it's called. I think it was Dark Zone. And the Dark Zone was an extraction shooter section, basically. Like you play the Division, you go and you shoot these dudes and blah blah blah, whatever. But the Dark Zone was literally you go in, you do some stuff, you shoot some fools, and then you get to the extraction point, and then everybody kills you. That's what happens. It was an extraction shooter. And I was like, I played it a couple times. I was like, I get it, but nah, I'm good. I'm good. Let me go back to. And eventually, I just dropped the game altogether. But casuals, well, no, hell no. Casuals want progression. Casuals want to be rewarded for their playtime. You play something, you level up, get some cool guns, you play it again, you level up some more, get some more cool guns or more skins or get some money, you buy some outfits, you play it again, you level up some more, you get some more money, you get some more outfits, you get some more skins. That's the casual loop mentally, psychologically. That's what we want as casuals, if you will. And that's the antithesis of what marathon is. Marathon is, you go in there, if you die, you lose all your stuff. And then what did they say? Every season resets your progression. I'm like, oh hell no. I'm definitely not playing that. It's like they actually don't want you to play this game, let alone buy it. Like, why would you buy this game? If you bought it, you would probably feel obligated to play it because you're like, I spent my money. Let me get my $40 worth or 60, whatever they're gonna charge. Let me get my money's worth at least. I'll play 40 hours of it and then that'll be good. Whatever, I don't know. But no, it's not. I would say the one thing that could save Marathon is to not make it Marathon. Meaning, keep the same name. You keep the art style if you fix the problems with the art style. But they'll probably tweak it a little bit, make it more realistic, less pastel-y. I don't know. But they should, and this is blasphemy, I know it is, but they should make it a battle royale game. Period. I bet if they same thing happened with Fortnite. Fortnite was save the world. Fortnite was kind of it wasn't an extraction shooter. It was a tower defense game, basically, right? Nobody liked it. People played it like, I think I played a demo of it. I was like, this is goofy. It was really good. I mean, imagine Fortnite, the art style, but it's like you're building a base, and then it turns nighttime, and then the zombies come out, and you gotta defend. It was not impressive. I was like, and so if Bungie changes Marathon into a BR battle royale game, I think the maps are big enough, or make a big or slam the two maps together, the three, whatever. Make it bigger maps, whatever, and then do the circle or do how they did it on what was that game that Cliffy B did where it was actually like a grid and he like certain squares would like close off so you'd have to run. I mean that works. You can do whatever shape, star shape, doesn't matter. Make it a big giant B doesn't matter what the shape is. Have it close in to last man standing. People know it. Casuals know that formula. They know, oh, it's like Fortnite. Okay, let's play it. Simple. There's no instructions needed. Unless you want to, add some stuff where you got to put in codes, little display, little places to unlock, and there's a weapon inside. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But as it stands right now, what Marathon is, the game that it is, failure. It's going to fail spectacularly. Will it fail as much as Concord? Depends on how much they paid to make that game. And that's where I'm like, Colin Moriarty, you need to do your work, do your thug thizzle, get them numbers, and let us know. He's not entirely useless. He has some skills and he has some connects. So use that. Get them views. Get that money for your site, for your peoples. I'll watch it. But yeah, I mean, is there any other way to save Marathon? It can't come out like an extraction shooter. And here's the other thing about that's so asinine. Marathon extraction shooter, people saw it failure, right? They're like, yeah, this is trash. Freaking Arc Raiders is way better because it just has more stuff. It has the things that you need as an extraction shooter to work. It's just better, right? Fair games. They describe it as an extraction shooter mixed with Fortnite, mixed with whatever else. I don't remember. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, why? Who? Okay. Sony listened to Bungie too much. Bungie was wrong. Bungie was wrong. Bungie was wrong to cancel Spider-Man for a couple of different reasons. They were right in one respect, wrong in all the other respects. I'll explain that. They were wrong to cancel Factions. That should have came out because it's owned by Sony. They don't have to pay no dividends, no nothing, no percentages to Marvel or Disney or no. They get it all. That's the game that should have came out. That's the game that. Plus, they got the show. So dumb. So the reason why canceling Spider-Man is on the one hand a good idea, but on the other hand, horrible idea. Let's do the one reason why it's a good idea because Marvel's cut on their licensed games is ridiculous. And if you are trying to make money as a studio, as a publisher, then you can't make that deal because they're getting what 50%, 66% of the console, the limited edition, the Spider-Man consoles and stuff. They're getting paid. They're getting paid, and that's profit. It's not like of the total. It's this is how much y'all made on that console. Yeah, you giving us 66% or 50%, whatever the number is. It's 50% and up, and I'm like, wow. And then it's 40% here. I forget what the other numbers are, but it's ridiculous. So that's the reason why you cancel Spider-Man multiplayer game, right? The reason why you don't cancel Spider-Man multiplayer game is because it would make you money. If they had a dedicated team to keep up with Spider-Man, Web of Spiders, whatever it's called, they could have been making money. Still, people will still be playing that because you'd be like, new skins, new rogues gallery update, new this, new that. All you got to do is add characters, literally. If you want to add a Burrow, be like, here's Yonkers. Throw Yonkers in, throw in New Rochelle, whatever, Staten Island, throw in all this stuff, whatever. But you need a dedicated team to create the content, right? They need that for any of these games. So why would they balk at that? And that was like a guaranteed, like, yo, Spider-Man, multiplayer, let's go. I mean, I would be interested in that. Like, that'd be interesting. I mean, if it was a good game, obviously. But I think it would be good because Insomniac is not bad at it. It was basically the same gameplay as the single player, just multiple It's multiplayer. It's like Sunset Overdrive had a multiplayer version, and it was just another players coming in your game, and you're shooting zombie freakers, whatever they're called. I don't even remember what they're called in Sunset Overdrive. The soda monsters. Um, but so it's like these decisions are so foreign. And I think what's happening over at PlayStation, and this is why PlayStation is done. As far as no PlayStation 6, it's fun to say is that the more that we see that's happening behind the scenes at PlayStation as far as their studios and their games and their output, why would they make a PlayStation 6? You have no games to play on. You got no games to play on PlayStation 5. Why would you make a new console to not play more games? To let Xbox to control your marketplace to have 5 out of 10 games on your top sellers? It doesn't make sense. And so their strategy fails. The games that they're making fails. Why do they keep on making these extraction shooters? It's like I'm thinking like all the games that they cancel, which was under Bungie, remember, right? Bungie was like, nah, it's whack, not it's whack. No, it's not an extraction shooter. Cancel. That seems like what happened. And their bet on the popularity of extraction shooters failed. So the whole thing failed. Bungie acquisition failed. They wasted 3.7 billion, dollars. Bungie's idea that this is going to be the next big thing fail. So the whole foundation of PlayStation's movement that took away resources from the thing that made them the market leader, it destroyed both at the same time. The failure of the idea of games as service, as far as through Bungie's eyes, failure, and by that distracting and detracting from the output of their bread and butter, which are single player sad dad walking simulators. I mean, they could have made a couple more of those, and they probably would have sold. They probably would have made some. Well, I mean, I don't know if they would have made more money because they're spending too much money on these games, and that's a whole other issue. So if you look at every little aspect of what Sony's doing, how they're making their games, what games they're making, who's in charge of deciding what games are being made, everything is falling apart. Everything's a bad decision. Everything sucks. I don't listen. These ponies and donkey unicorns could blow smoke up your stuff and say whatever they want to say, but the reality is what it is. It is what it is. The reality is fiction. No, the reality is fiction. The reality is what we see, what is going on, right? And so Sony is just sitting here. They might as well just throw up their hands like, we don't know what we're doing. Help. Apple, please buy us. I mean, the way Apple's moving, they buying a little studio. I mean, they bought a studio. Like, oh snap, they making movies. Like, it's a 2-man studio. It ain't that serious. Although, hey Apple, we got 3-man studio. You want to buy us? We ain't put out a game yet. We got a game in the chamber. It's coming. Probably next year. Yeah, probably next year sometime. Spring maybe. I'm just guesstimating. Because we got some stuff to do. We got some boss monsters to complete and all that stuff. Boss encounters, if you will. But yeah, so this is, like I said before, this is a slow motion disaster happening in front of our eyes day by day. And think of the best possible thing that could happen that PlayStation can do to change people's minds. And you say, oh, they did it already. They dropped the price. No. That's smoke and mirrors. A 2-week sale, that's not dropping the price. That's promotional. That's gonna go away in 2 weeks. After the June showcase, after Microsoft's big. Here's the thing. PlayStation did this for a couple of reasons. They dropped the price so that they can seem like, oh yeah. Because they have no games. They got no games to show. So what do? If they would have just sat back and be quiet and be silent, it would have been worse. So this was more of a let's get some positive PlayStation news type of move. But it's not positive because it's cutting into their bottom line, which is, you know. So, and if you think about the moves that they're making it, and like, they're losing money. All these games, like Jade Raymond leaving, this game in limbo, Marathon's in limbo, they're losing money. And the fact that every time you see any creator out here talking about Marathon, talking about fair games, it's not positive. It's not like, yeah, I can't wait to play that game. It's all negative. It's all gloom and doom. It's not just me. It's these big YouTubers out there, these big content creators. They're saying the same thing. They're like, yo, now they're saying, oh, it might be canceled or it might be delayed. Probably because they canceled all the ads and stuff. I'm like, dude, and then I never even talked about like the morale is down at the studio. And it's like, what can you? The only thing that would bring morale up is that if from some miraculous turn of events that they put the game out and it's a huge success and everybody's playing it and they're making all this money and blah blah blah. That's the only way. I don't think that's gonna happen. And like I said, I'm not saying it's a bad game, and I kind of like the aesthetic, but the problem is way further than just, oh, the graphics look good or whatever, it's pleasing to look at and stuff. It's way past that. And I don't know if there is a way for them to recover. And that's what, like, the last videos, like, they can't. Well, not the last video. Well, anyway, last couple videos, Sony can't recover from this. PlayStation cannot recover from this disaster of, it's zeitgeist, it's negative zeitgeist. It's just zeitgeist, but in the negative way. People are thinking about your product negatively. They're not. It's not a positive look. It's not like, oh, I can't wait to play it. It's like, yeah, I don't care. I got other things to play. And that's another problem that Sony has. They're not putting out enough games to counteract the fact that Xbox and Microsoft are putting out so many games, so many bangers that people are like, I gotta play that. Oh snap, that's coming. I gotta play that. Oh snap, I still haven't played Doom Dark Ages. I gotta download it on my console. I'm like, I can't. I haven't gotten to it. I'm still playing Expedition 33. And I mean, sure, people can multitask and stuff, and maybe I'll dive into it and mess with it. But I dropped a VOD for Expedition 33. I gotta go back and finish the VOD. I gotta go play Doom. Freaking all the other games that have come out. When Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out, I'm gonna play that. There's so many games that Xbox is spitting out compared to one game that PlayStation. And that's what I said that last video. This one game has to be better than all the games that Xbox is putting out, and it's not gonna be. Just as a collective, Xbox has all these bangers. PlayStation has one game. That's the same situation that Sega and Nintendo back in the day, the NES and the Sega Master System. Nintendo had all these games. Not all of them were bangers, but they had enough games, like basically all the games. Most of them were bangers, or enough of them were bangers that you look over a Sega Master System, tumbleweeds. I had a Sega Master System. Their games were quality. It was good stuff, but it wasn't enough. They didn't have enough games. And when you have a plethora of games and their bangers, nobody's looking at Ghost of Yote. They're like, okay, I mean, I don't have a PlayStation, and I'm not gonna buy a PlayStation for one game when I got 59 other games over here and Game Pass. Come on, son. That Jim Ryan knew what was going on. Jim Ryan threw everything at the wall, see what would stick. He failed. He failed Sony so spectacularly. It's amazing how he buried that company, how he buried PlayStation. There has to be a book. Somebody has to be writing a book, penning a rough draft of how Jim Ryan destroyed the PlayStation brand, or call it broken pixels or something. Call it call it PSSR. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I got thoughts popping out. Let me know what you think. in the comments below. And I mean, it's really about this whole like, so PlayStation is done, son. It's just, you can say, oh, they made 30 billion million, whatever, they're still market leader. By what metric? By MAUs? No, they're not. And if they're using that as the metric, they're third. Let's be real, they're third. They went from first to last, just like that. But anyway, I'll talk to y'all on the next one too.